Amy Thompson, a Workplace Relations Advisor at the Real Estate Employers Federation. Welcome to REEF TV. In this episode of our series about understanding the National Employment Standards, we're covering an employer's entitlement to be absent from work on a day declared as a public holiday. We'll also be talking about an employer's obligation to present each new employee with a copy of the Fair Work Information Statement. With me to talk about these topics is Anna Lai, one of our workplace relations advisors here at REEF. Thanks for joining me, Anna. Let's start with the public holiday entitlement. Is it really that straightforward?
Thanks, Amy. To a certain extent, it is straightforward, but it can be tricky in circumstances where the employee is asked to work a public holiday, but refuses to do so.
Before we talk about that, can we talk about the entitlement more generally?
An employee is entitled to be absent from work on a day or part day that's been declared a public holiday in the place where the employee is based for work purposes. So in addition to the prescribed public holidays that we're all well aware of, like New Year's Day, Good Friday, Christmas Day, and so on, any other day or part day declared under the law of a state or territory as a public holiday is captured under this NES entitlement. It covers, for example, regional show or picnic day races, but only for employees working in these localities.
So what happens when a substitute day is granted as a public holiday, or if there's an additional day?
That day or part day declared by the state or territory government will be observed as a public holiday under the NES.
If an employee is absent on a public holiday, what's their entitlement to pay?
An employee is entitled to be paid at their base rate of pay for the ordinary hours they would otherwise have been worked if it wasn't a public holiday. But if the public holiday falls on a day where the employee would not have worked, for example, a roster day off, there's no entitlement to receive any additional remuneration because it's a public holiday.
What happens when an agency is open on a public holiday and the employer requests the employee to work that day?
This is where things get a bit tricky. The Fair Work Act provides that an employer can request an employee to work on a public holiday provided the employer's request is reasonable. An employee can refuse the request if the employer's request is unreasonable. So determining the reasonableness of the employer's request and any refusal by the employees is not always easy. The Fair Work Act provides some guidance about what needs to be considered when determining reasonableness. If you're facing this kind of situation, give REEF Helpline a call.
Let's turn to the Fair Work Information Statement. What is it? Where can I find it? And what are an employer's obligations in relation to it?
So the Fair Work Information Statement is a document prepared by the Fair Work Ombudsman. It contains information for the benefit of employees about their entitlements under the NES and awards, as well as other administrative matters. An employer must give each new employee a copy of the Fair Work Information Statement before or as soon as possible after the employee starts employment. You can find a copy of the statement by logging into REEF's People Management System. While it's not a complicated task at all, many employers tend to overlook compliance with the NES requirement, or they're just simply unaware of its existence. Failure to issue the statement to new employees can cause particular problems where the business is subject to an employment investigation by an inspector from the Fair Work Ombudsman. You'll find yourself on the back foot before the investigation even commences.
Thanks, Anna. So that's an overview of public holidays and the Fair Work Information Statement. Remember, you can download a copy of the Fair Work Information Statement by logging into the REEF People Management System. Simply go to reef.org.au, click on the login button and then enter your details. Thanks for watching this episode of REEF TV. Don't miss the other episodes in this series about understanding the National Employment Standards. And make sure you catch our other episodes of REEF TV to stay up to date with all the latest workplace relations, information and news impacting your real estate business. See you next time.